After 58 years of revenue service, the Bud Company R32s are finally retiring from the MTA New York City Transit subway. From the middle of December to the middle of January 2022, the R32 was taking its final retirement run every Sunday, all the way until January 9th, 2022. I came here a week earlier on January 2nd, only because I knew for a fact that it was going to be crowded, and I know this was during the height of the Omicron variant of COVID-19, and I knew the very last day would be crowded. Although, to be honest, I worked on the voice recording the Thursday before the last day. So the reason why my last ATV short was at Bleecker Street was because the R32 didn't came to 2nd Avenue right away, so I decided to go one stop up, thinking that I could just briefly take the Q train over the Manhattan Bridge, so I wasn't able to. So basically, I went back over to the other side, and the R32 just basically snuck up right behind me. And it's funny because every time I'm at Broadway Lafayette, there's always a train that sneaks up on me. One time was the R32 before the pandemic, and another time was the R42, which I caught for an ATV exclusive. So I didn't record the trip back to 2nd Avenue from Bleecker Street because it would have just been one stop. But I basically took the opportunity for the minutes that we had leading up till noon when our train departed, so that way I could just have this opportunity to just look around at the different subway cars and just to admire the years of service that the R32 had. Well, it was time to go when it finally reached noon. So basically, even though it wasn't the last trip, it was still pretty crowded because there was basically rail fanners from all over the city and most likely all over the world. In fact, I know Techno 7843 and Sonic 57053 were also here for this event, although I never saw them in person, to be honest. And I could be wrong, but I think Fan Railer was there, but maybe I'm wrong. Either way, the lead car was just super duper crowded, so I believe heading to 145th Street, I was in either the 2nd or 3rd car, and basically, it was so funny because normally when I take a bus or train, I'm normally the only one that's rail fanning or recording a trip. Basically, almost every window was occupied by a rail fanner. In fact, I was next to one fellow rail fanner that had basically two of the cutest kids you'll ever meet and stuff, personality-wise and everything. But of course, I didn't get them on camera because once I reach 1,000 subscribers, I honestly want this video to be monetized. Honestly, I just can't believe the R32s is finally retiring from the subway system, only because of the years of memories that this had. Like, before moving to Staten Island, I lived in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. And my childhood subway station was Nostrand Avenue. In fact, I plan to probably head back there one day just to rail fan at the subway station. I mean, I was able to rail fan at the Long Island Railroad station, which is most likely available on your screen. And since it was really hot that day, because I believe that was in the middle of July, I just quickly jumped back on the A train just to head all the way back to Fulton Street to take the express bus back home. Anyway, I said all this to say, the memories that I have with the R32, for me, the R32 will forever be the face of the C train. Yes, I know it started on the Q line back in the day, back before I was born, because I was born in 1996 to be honest. Yet whenever I thought of the C train, I immediately saw the R32. And at times it was the A train whenever there was a R46 not available for whatever reason. In fact, I can't count how many times that I took the R32 on the C line, to be honest. In fact, that time recently when I was able to take the C train again, this time on a Bombardier R179, that was really my first time taking the C train in years. In fact, just a heads up, at some point in this video, while we're on the express track on the D line, we actually go past a C train that has some R179s. In fact, I know the R32s are retiring in place of the newer equipment that's coming into the MTA. Yet, honestly, don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to actually seeing the R211s in person. Yes, I have my personal opinions with regards to the R211, yet I don't mind seeing them in person, to be honest. Although I heard that the R32s is going to be available for both the A and C trains, and the R179 might be merged with some other yard or maintenance facility. And I know, honestly, for my dream fleet, I would much rather the subways to just have just the R211, to be honest. Yet, if we was to have a miscellaneous assorted group of different rail cars, I wouldn't mind having the A trains with the R211 and the C train with the R179. Only because the face of the R179 almost reminds me of how the R32s look. But of course, I'm still with my personal idea for the subway, where if possibly the A division, would aka the number trains, if they could basically have their tracks renovated to accommodate for the wider B division rail cars and stuff, I could potentially see the entire subway with cars similar to the R211s. In fact, I saw the proposed R262 concept, and most likely the MTA will follow through with that proposal. And if that's the case, I wouldn't mind Kawasaki building them, only because of the fact that they were able to build the R211s. Either way, I'm arriving at 145th Street, or I'm coming up to it, so normally in some of my rail fanning videos, when you see the train about to go out, you normally see how I try my best to catch like a good angle and probably upload it later to Instagram. Well, you could just imagine a group of rail fanners all trying to have a decent angle to be able to catch the R32 departing. And that's basically what happened. Of course, I was able to catch a decent angle nonetheless, and it was able to look nice. So, this isn't the end, this is basically a part 1 of an ATV special. So the very next video, and this was kind of funny to be honest, is an ATV short of a Westinghouse that came at the station and went, and then afterwards will be the R32 trip back to 2nd Avenue. Either way, what are your thoughts on this video? Let me know in the comments.